Welcome. Dear listeners, before we dive into tonight's sumptuous drama, tell me where you're watching from in the comments. If you're as hungry for billionaire romance as we are, hit like and subscribe now. Imagine moonlight dancing across marble pillars, the soft hum of an orchestra drifting through open windows. You're about to step into a world of opulence, secrets, and a tiny kitten that changes everything. Our heroine, a kind soul with tender courage, crosses paths with our elusive Tycoon at an unlikely moment. But first, what brought her here, to this gleaming mansion at midnight? Stay tuned as the music swells and the story unfolds. What would you do if a stray kitten appeared at your doorstep in the dead of night? Moonlight filters through towering windows, casting silver filigree across the marble floors of Crestwood Manor's grand ballroom. Crystal chandeliers tremble with every note of the string quartet tucked behind velvet drapes. Each polished column reflects 1,000 tiny lights like a galaxy captured under one roof. Silken drapes in deep sapphire frame, arched doorways leading to manicured gardens, where fountains whisper secrets to the night sky. A gentle breeze carries the scent of jasmine and rosewater, mingling with the distant laughter of guests in tuxedos and jeweled gowns. In the center of the room, a long table gleams with silver platters, oysters on ice, chocolate-dipped strawberries, and flutes of champagne bubbling like morning dew. Servants glide seamlessly, their white gloves and crisp uniforms almost as exquisite as the jewels they carry. Yet amid the elegance, a single stray note has gone astray, a soft mewl echoing somewhere beyond the polished marble. No guest seems to notice, but the night's perfect veneer trembles with one unexpected sound. What could unravel in this palace of perfection when a frightened kitten's cry disturbs the hush? Amara Reyes grew up in a sun-baked town on the outskirts of Tucson. Dusty streets and peeling paint framed her childhood like a faded photograph. Yet, from a young age, she found magic in small moments: hummingbirds' wing beat, the way morning light gilded her mother's garden. Her mother tended roses with gentle hands, coaxing blooms from thorny stems. Amara learned tenderness there, tracing petals until they unfurled beneath her fingers. It was in those fragrant mornings that she vowed to dedicate her life to creatures without a voice. By 16, Amara was known for rescuing injured birds and squirrels. She'd slip out of bed at dawn, basket in hand, scouring alleyways for kittens and puppies. Neighbors peeked from shuttered windows, whispering about the dreamy girl who whispered prayers to broken wings. School paid little mind to her quiet passion. Amara hovered at the back of classrooms, sketching wildlife in margins. Algebra symbols gave way to scribbled trees, and teachers chided her for daydreaming. Still, she carried a conviction that saving one life mattered more than perfect grades. When college acceptance letters arrived, the University of Arizona beckoned. Amara studied veterinary science by day and volunteered at animal shelters by night. Her scholarship barely covered rent, but every mew and whimper she soothed felt like triumph. After graduation, she launched Pause and Promise, a non-profit mobile clinic serving rural communities. She drove dusty roads in an old van, patching wounds by torchlight and reuniting pets with families who'd lost hope. Her reputation grew faster than donations did. Late one evening, Amara collapsed onto her folded blankets at the roadside. Exhaustion tugged at her eyelids as she pictured dozens of abandoned animals waiting for help. Yet even in her weariness, a spark of hope urged her onward. Every life rescued was worth the sacrifice. She never imagined that a stray kitten would lead her to the doorstep of the world's most private billionaire, nor that the opulent halls of Crestwood Manor would one day echo with her whispered pleas to save a trembling feline. Now, as Amara steps through those grand doors, her heart pounding with both awe and dread, she wonders if her lifelong mission has prepared her for the unknown challenges that await. What trials will test her compassion next? A soft mew drifted from behind a gilded pillar. Amara paused, her breath hitching. The orchestra's melody faltered as a tiny, trembling kitten slipped into the moonlit ballroom. She chased the sound across the marble, her heel clicking like a heartbeat. Guests murmured as she stooped to scoop up the grey tabby, its wide eyes reflecting crystal chandelier shards. At that moment, the doors swung open with a hush hand. In the glow stepped the host himself, Lucian Hawthorne. His tailored tuxedo hugged broad shoulders, and his silver hair gleamed under the chandelier's light. He frowned as Amara cradled the kitten to her chest. "My apologies, sir," she whispered, brushing stray whiskers from her gown. "I couldn't leave it frightened." Lucian's steel-grey gaze softened for a heartbeat. He knelt, amber cufflinks catching the candlelight. "Where did you find her?" he asked, voice low and curious. Before Amara could answer, her elbow knocked a waiting guest's champagne flute. Crystal shattered on marble. A ripple of gasps cut the hush. Champagne foamed across guests' gowns' jeweled straps, crisp collars, the glow of opulence drenched in golden liquid. Lucian's eyes flicked between Amara and the ruined scene. He stood abruptly, offering Amara's hand a steadying grip. "This must be fixed," he declared, jaw set. Now, Amara's heart hammered. Was this an offer of help, or a summons to her greatest undoing? What choice will she make under the Tycoon's unwavering gaze? Amara's cheeks flamed as the crowd's whispers rushed around her. Who is she? How dare she ruin the gala? A prickle of shame clawed her throat. She clutched the kitten tighter, its tiny body trembling against her chest like a leaf in the wind. The warmth of its fur soothed her panic, reminding her why she'd risked everything. In the hallway, she sank onto a velvet settee. Her best friend and assistant, Nina, slipped beside her, concern knitting her brow. "What happened in there?" Nina murmured, brushing a loose curl from Amara's face. Amara swallowed the tremor in her voice. "I just wanted to help." Tears pooled at her lashes as the gravity of the moment pressed in her dream of saving animals had collided with a world she barely understood. Nina gently took the kitten. "You did the right thing," she said firmly. "But you're in the lion's den now." Amara's pulse thundered. The Lion King himself had noticed her. A distant echo of heels on marble reminded Amara that Lucian Hawthorne would not let the mishap fade. Her chest tightened with fear and anticipation. What Lucian demand of her next stand? Can she face the price of compassion in this gilded world? What would you do in Amara's shoes? Comment below. Lucian Hawthorne swept toward them with the precision of a conductor finishing a symphony. His tuxedo was pristine despite the champagne carnage behind him, and the kitten still nestled in Nina's arms, stretched up, whiskers quivering. Lungs burned with a cocktail of embarrassment and adrenaline. "This must be fixed," Lucian repeated, his voice low but carrying unmistakable authority. Waitstaff hovered, awaiting orders. Guests swirled in clusters, eyes flicking from the ruined gowns to the unexpected heroine clutching a trembling creature. Lucian spared them a cool glance. "Clear the damaged items," he instructed, turning to Amara. "Then you will help me in the conservatory." His tone left no room for refusal. Amara's heart hammered. The conservatory, an even more opulent wing filled with exotic orchids and a koi pond, was not a refuge but his personal domain. Rumor whispered he only admitted the closest confidants there. Had she just been promoted to that role, or sentenced? She nodded, voice caught in her throat. Nina brushed her arm. "I've got the kitten," she said, gently easing the creature into a soft carrier. Amara watched as the staff whisked away broken glass and spattered champagne, restoring the ballroom's perfection within moments. As they walked down a hallway lined with ancestral portraits, Amara glimpsed the Hawthorne legacy, stern-faced forebears, each more formidable than the last. Their eyes seemed to watch her, judging her intrusion into their sanctum. Lucian paused before a set of ornate doors. He opened them with a practiced flick, revealing the conservatory's lush interior. Warm air scented with jasmine and damp earth enveloped them, and bioluminescent lantern bugs hovered among the ferns. A white marble bench curved beside a lily-strewn pond. Amara stepped inside, the kitten's faint mewl echoing in the humid hush. Lucian closed the doors behind them. At his signal, a glass-enclosed cabinet slid open, revealing rows of crystal vials and ancient tomes. He walked to a small table where two velvet chairs faced each other beside a bubbling fountain. "Sit," he ordered softly. "Tell me why. You risked everything for that kitten." His gaze, intense and unreadable, locked onto her. Amara sank into the chair, the weight of the kitten's carrier on her lap. She inhaled, steadying herself. "I couldn't leave her frightened," she said, voice trembling. "No matter the setting, ballroom or back alley, a helpless creature deserves help." Lucian studied her. The light from the lantern bugs danced in his silver hair. After a long silence, he unfolded his hands. "You speak as if every life holds equal value," he said. "Most of my guests would have scapped and moved on. You stopped." She blinked. "I believe in compassion." Her words felt small in the cavernous space. He leaned forward, elbows on his knees. "I respect that," he replied, surprising her. "And yet, I suspect you live life on the fringes. Your non-profit van, dusty roads, midnight rescues. You rescue animals, but you've never had to rescue yourself from the expectations of this world." Amara's cheeks flamed. She had no answer for someone who wielded wealth like a shield. She closed her eyes, recalling nights spent hunched in her van, scrubbing wounds by lamplight. "I've never needed a mansion," she whispered, "but I've needed hope." Lucian's stern mask cracked. "Hope," he echoed. He stood, walking to the pond and tossing a pebble into its still surface. "I'm offering you a choice," he said, looking back. "Leave now with your dignity or stay. Help me care for this creature and step into my world." Amara's breath caught. The kitten stirred, nudging at the carrier's mesh. She met Lucian's gaze. "If I stay," she asked, voice steadier now, "what do I become?" He hesitated, as if weighing the gravity of the offer. "Someone who makes a difference on a far greater scale," he said at last. "But you must be willing to navigate the labyrinth of my life, family expectations, media scrutiny, and my own guarded heart." A distant clock chimed midnight, its echo rippling through the conservatory. Amara's pulse quickened at the unspoken challenge in his eyes. Was she ready to leave behind her nights under starlit skies for secrets hidden behind these crystal doors? The kitten mewed again, urgent and expectant, as if sensing the pivotal moment. What choice will Amara make, and can she balance her compassionate spirit with the uncompromising demands of a billionaire's world? What would you do in Amara's shoes? Comment below. Lucian escorted Amara through a labyrinth of private galleries, each room guarded by family portraits and hushed security. Reporters clustered at the mansion's gates, their cameras blinking like fireflies. Inside, Lucian's younger sister, Seraphine, eyed Amara from beneath sculpted brows. "So you're the girl who stole my brother's attention," she said coolly, voice crisp as ice. Amara caught a flicker of something darker behind Seraphine's stare. Jealousy, or perhaps fear. The patriarch, Augustus Hawthorne, loomed next. He draped a velvet shawl over his shoulders, lips pressed into a thin line. "A woman who disrupts my gala and waltzes into my grandson's heart." His words hovered like a guillotine's blade. Amara bowed her head slightly, kitten carrier balanced at her feet. She sensed the family's power plays, every nod, every breath choreographed to test her resolve. In the conservatory's dim glow, Lucian placed the kitten on a plush cushion. "You'll stay here," he said, turning to confront his family. "Amara will oversee her care." Gasps rippled through the circle. Seraphine's lips twitched in a snarl. Augustus leaned forward, eyes like storm clouds. Amara's heart thundered. She had stepped into a gilded cage where loyalty was currency and love was the ultimate gamble. Can she prove her worth in a realm where empathy is mistaken for weakness? Will Lucian protect her when the whispers turn to war? What would you do if you were caught in the crossfire of a powerful family? Comment below. Morning light filtered through stained glass windows as Amara entered the conservatory, her fingertips brushing dukist orchid petals. Lucian watched from a wrought-iron chaise, the kitten purring beside him. He offered her a porcelain cup of chamomile tea, steam curling like whispered promises. She accepted with a shy smile, inhaling the herbal aroma. "Thought you might need this," he said quietly. His voice held a soft edge she'd never heard before. Attentive. In the afternoons, Lucian led her to a hidden atelier where he painted in solitude. He revealed a canvas streaked with blues and grays, the kitten playfully chasing brushstrokes. Amara's laughter pure and unguarded, code off vaulted ceilings. Each evening, he saved her a lantern-lit path through the rose garden. They walked in companionable silence, petals brushing her gown and his tailored sleeve. Under moonlight, Lucian admitted memories of his own lonely childhood, a confession that made Amara's heart ache with kinship. By candlelight, Amara sketched the kitten's portrait, her pencil gliding across paper like a lover's caress. Lucian watched, unseen, admiration softening his usual reserve as a warm breeze drifted through open doors. Amara realized how subtly their worlds had entwined, one soft gesture at a time. What delicate thread will make their hearts unravel next? Late afternoon sun streamed through the studio's lofty windows as Amara gently brushed the kitten's fur. The soft purr was a lullaby until a familiar silhouette darkened the doorway. Ethan Sinclair, Amara's ex and former partner at Pause and Promise, leaned against the frame. His tailored blazer and confident grin had once been her anchor. Now his eyes narrowed as he spotted Lucian's crest on the tea tray, helping rich boys play zookeeper. Ethan's voice dripped with sarcasm. The kitten froze, ears flat. Amara, chest tightened at the cruel edge in his tone. Lucian emerged from the shadows, regal and cold. "You've mistaken my guest," he said smoothly, voice like steel. Ethan's smirk faltered. Amara's heart pounded between two worlds, one shaped by humble devotion, the other by glittering power. Could she stand her ground against the man who once held her, trust and reclaim her own? What would you do if your past collided with your present? Comment below. Bright lights and flashing cameras filled the Hawthorne Media Hall. Reporters leaned forward as Lucian stepped to the podium, Amara at his side, cradling the kitten in a velvet-lined carrier. A rival Tycoon's lawyer strode up, brandishing a leaked photo of Amara in her dusty van captioned charity stunt. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Lucian's voice rang clear. "Compassion isn't a stunt." He lifted the kitten, turning its soft face to the world. "This little life matters, more than any scandal." Reporters scribbled furiously. In that moment, Amara realized her truth had become their headline. What would you have done in her place? Comment below. *** later. In the moonlit rose garden, Lucian knelt before Amara, offering a slender silver ring engraved with a paw print. Her breath caught. "I vow to protect every life you cherish," he whispered, sliding the ring onto her finger. Tears shimmered at her lashes as she answered, "And I vow to stand by your heart." Storm clouds of family pressure broke, replaced by genuine cheers from the shadows. The world held its breath and exhaled hope. What future will they build? Together, hand in paw. Weeks later, Dawn Light danced on Pause and Promise's new urban clinic sign funded by the Hawthorne Foundation. Amara led a team of volunteers as rescued kittens and puppies tumbled at her feet. Lucian watched from the doorway, coffee in hand, pride softening his usual reserve. "You've built something incredible," he said, wrapping an arm around her shoulders. Amara smiled, eyes shining. "We did it together." The kitten, now named Hope, nuzzled her ankle as if sealing their partnership. What dream project would you start with a partner by your side? Share below. Thank you for joining this whirlwind of whiskers and weddings. If you loved Amara and Lucian's journey, like, share, and subscribe for the next emotional rollercoaster. Until then, may your hearts be as brave as hers, your love as steadfast as his, and may every stray you find lead you home. ***.